The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply. Alright, so this is the Flogcast for the first week of finals. Fyfie joined by Dan,
Hello.
Teach,
Hello.
and Penal.
Hi there.
Yeah, so there's not too many of us tonight. Hadouken's come down with the Windy Hill flu, and everyone else is too busy browsing 4chan. But yes, it was a reasonably uneventful weekend across most games, but there were some big ones, and, well, the biggest one of all happened on Saturday Twilight, which was, well, the Tiggy Train rolls on Toot. Fucking Toot.
Go Tigers! Tigers! Tigers.
Fucking
Swans.
should
Oh, yeah.
have finished
Finals.
ninth again. You should have finished ninth again.
If you thought my goo was bad, just get ready for Fyfie to unleash an absolute avalanche.
It's been stored up. I'm like Finch out of American Pie, you know. He did that thing, he stored it up.
Go the Tigers! Yes!
Did you finish 8th or were you given to 8th?
We finished fucking 8th.
You beat a Neefle team, let's be honest.
No, they were
And North
they
Melbourne
were
helped you
missing
out the week
4
before.
first choice players. Just the 4. This wasn't fucking Collingwood coming up against Hawthorn with, any old hack in the team.
If North lost to Adelaide the week before, would you guys finish 9th?
No, we probably wouldn't have beaten the Swans. But look, it was fantastic. We won. We made a lot of other supporter bases butthurt in doing so.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go.
Oh.
No, I went.
Well, I think you've set the tone.
Sydney, Dan.
Yeah,
Shut up.
It's not that far away.
I made the trip into Richmond, alright, and I went and watched it at a pub with all the rest of the Tiger Army, and it's fantastic. We won. About after quarter time, every time Goods touched the ball, the entire pub booed him, which was highly...
Oh, that's racist.
I didn't watch the game, but I've heard a lot about Goods acting and diving and shit. Was it legit?
Oh, well, Goods saw Jimmy Bartell and said, you know what, anything you
I can do one better.
Anything you can do. Yeah, he went down like he was shot, and there's been some great gifs of that, particularly the one out of Saving Private Ryan with the sniper. That was a personal favourite of mine, but yeah, he went down like he'd been shot, and even Warney got involved.
Strip him of the All-Australian, Australian of the Year award.
Well,
He's an embarrassment.
Shane Warne's confused as to why he ever got it in the first place. So that was quite an interesting exchange.
Thank God you make a massive dive like you did, because it took all of the emphasis of Jimmy Bartell last week. So,
But wait, it took the
Good,
emphasis
you
off Jimmy.
did,
No,
yes.
Jimmy didn't dive, Teach.
well, I told you he did.
Well, Jimmy says he didn't.
I don't care what he said, but he did.
You're calling your own player a liar.
Yes, he did. He dived.
But Dan did make mention before that maybe Good slip. Maybe he slipped on that terrible turf at ANZ Stadium, but I don't think it excuses the head throwback. But that thing was a fucking cow paddock, and it helped Dusty at the end there when Richards fell over like a goose. Oh, but that was a good result.
How good is it to be a Richards supporter right now, Fyfie?
It's very, very good right now. Now, on Sunday, it might not be so great.
No, go Tigers.
But right
Tigers
now,
are gonna be
it's very
power.
good.
They're going to win. They're going to win.
Even if you lose to Port, what you've done this year, winning 9 games in a row, overcoming such tremendous adversity to be able to finish 8th where you did, that will do wonders for your culture
Well, that's-
and
Exactly.
football
This
team
is
would blossom
literally
as a
this is,
result.
and I've been saying this during my lifetime. Every time a game like this has come along, that's been such high stakes, we have lost, and we've lost in a bad way. And this is the first one, so it's almost as if the corner's turning ever so slightly, even if next week doesn't go perfectly.
Well, that's the other part. Given that Tigers have now finished 8th, is this season deemed a success or not? Does Hardwick still have to go?
No, no.
Oh, so he's staying now.
No, he's held firm on his selection policy this week, and he's done well there. He didn't bring Vickery back. You know, he's actually holding firm, selecting better teams. Like, that's the thing. If he dropped Griffiths for no reason, that would have been woeful. We'll see how he goes this week, though.
Tigers will win this week.
Well, we're not up to that point yet.
Tigers will win, and they will go on to the prelim.
St Kilda will win.
St Kilda aren't playing this week, Penal.
Well, they'll be playing on Wednesday. Don't worry.
The opinion of the man in his 5-man tipping competition holds high regard.
Anything else on that game? Look, it was actually a fantastic result. And it was typically Richmond as well, in the way that we jumped out to a 5-goal lead before they kicked one, and then they slowly pegged it back. And it's one of those things usually, and this has happened a lot in our run of the 9 games. It's actually fallen up behind in a few games where we've been well and truly on top, and then won. Usually when we fall behind, that's the game. You know, that's the heartbreak, falling behind. Now we fall behind and somehow run again. So that was interesting, but it was typically Richmond. From 5 goals up, we should have won that by more. But yeah, it's been a very interesting 9 weeks, and the goo is being spilt. The train ride's on to Adelaide. Teach, you love trains, you got to jump on.
Tigers.
So yeah, anything else on that game? Anything else on good staging?
He's a disgrace. Should be deregistered permanently.
I can't believe he didn't get fined. It's actually it's embarrassing how his flopping keeps getting ignored. It's like they're going to explain it away as muscle memory from his soccer days again. You know, it's just ridiculous.
I'd have him arrested. I don't know on what grounds, but I'd just throw him in jail.
Dermot Brereton's on the warpath with him as well. He's saying that he puts on less pressure acts for a forward than anyone else in the comp. Like, that he literally doesn't carry his weight.
That's nasty.
That's true. Like, after the Sydney Hawthorn game, I came on here and I talked about how posters on the Sydney board were criticising Goods for his lack of defensive efforts. So it's even their own supporters realise that Goods, he only runs one way.
Falling over in the goal square, getting run down from behind, you know. But yeah. Also, before we move on and before I forget, can't ignore the fact that Rancy was amazing on Saturday. I got to drop in some goo.
You mean like keys in a bowl amazing, or actual football amazing?
No, actual football amazing.
Football, because I hear he's pretty good at that sort of stuff. Parties.
Yeah, well, I don't support Hawthorn, so why would I know or care? I'm not one of the 48.
Well, I'm just referring to Rancy Boy.
Okay.
No, he's been alright this year, Rancy.
He's been huge.
He's done well on my Supercoach team.
And just one more thing on ANZ Stadium. Look, they're going to have to play on that again next week. It's disgusting. It looked horrid, and I hope it backfires on them, because that would be hilarious. But moving on to probably the next biggest game of the weekend, Port played Freo for the 4th spot, and the loser gets to play Richmond. That was Port. Freo got up. But anything on that game?
I didn't watch it.
It was another surprisingly high-scoring game for a Freo match.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 3 weeks in a row now that Freo have scored over 100 points, which is pretty much unprecedented.
Probably never happened in Ross Lyon's career as a coach. Yeah, look, Port gave a good account of themselves with a big spot up for grabs, but just fell short. And Freo, well, we'll know a bit more this week, but they looked ominous.
Yeah, Freo looked to be hitting some good form at the right time of the year. They might just get on over to ANZ and roll the Swans.
Anything to add, Teach?
Yeah.
Teach was going to say something, but he forgot.
Yeah, about the crazy old granny in the diamonds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she...
No, remembers.
Tell us.
No, she just had the diamond T-shirt on. Well, the jumper on with the Fremantle colours, and she absolutely cracked the shit
Over what?
In the cheer squad, but they won anyway. So
you'd know all about cheer squads.
I guess I would. Yes.
Is that a yes or a no, Teach? With the crazy lady?
Yeah, she looked pretty crazy. She did.
So that's a yes.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Who's sliding off the edge of the cliff there, laughing their heads off?
I think that's everyone.
Anyway, let's move on to, well, Carlton's season finished on a magnificently appropriate note with a draw, because Bryce Gibbs, first, couldn't make the distance, second, Watson couldn't punch it over the line, and third, Cam Wood took possession and ran out of bounds, basically.
Was that the only draw for the year?
It was the only draw for the year.
Why couldn't they punch the ball across the line and snatch a win.
Because they're spastics.
Yes,
And
that's
they
pretty
gave
much-
up a 6-goal lead as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much the that's what happened.
They gave up a 6-goal lead, came back from 27 points down, and then they fucked it up. Is that just what is that?
In a word, that's Carlton.
Pretty much, yes.
I am Carlton. I am last-minute fuck-ups. I am Bryce Gibbs not making the distance.
If
I am-
if Carlton won and Essendon get those 2 points from the draw, would North be playing Tigers in the first week?
we didn't win by enough. We needed about a
Okay.
3-goal win, which could have happened if we held off the early lead. But yeah,
Well, Bryce Gibbs kicking from 55 metres. I thought he would at least score.
yeah, I thought he'd make the distance. How does he not make the distance? He's clearly not as good as some people have led us to believe.
Yeah, I tell you who
But they
thought
had
he
a
would
couple-
score. Anus Cat thought he would score.
They had,
Yeah.
they had
Fucking
two
went
chances to punch it. They had 2 chances to punch it through for a point,
Hmm.
and they didn't.
And yeah, it's cost them 2 points, and it didn't make any difference to their drafting position because the Bulldogs lost. They lost in Gia's farewell game, but I think it was mostly his fault.
Oh, he had a terrible last 2 minutes. So he kicked it out on the full twice,
Kicked the behind.
kicked it behind, which he would normally kick,
Mm.
and he cost it for him.
And then Jake Stringer just killed it for him.
God, he should have marked that too.
It was hilariously inept that last 2 minutes because neither of them wanted to win it. Every time GWS looked like taking it forward before that Devon Smith goal, they fucked it up. And yet
Are
the
you
Bulldogs-
saying they tried to tank?
I think the tank might have been out in the last couple of minutes. I heard that Gia played the true selfless doggies role and kicked it out in the full purposely to get the higher draft pick. He was so selfless. He made sure they did not win that game.
No, it wasn't a prelim. They didn't fucking lose on purpose.
Well, it was only Rutten that got the dream send off from his team when Eddie Betts handballed it off to him and Rutten kicked the last goal, his last kick, his last goal, and they were so happy for him. And do you think that the fucking Bulldogs and the Saints could do the same thing for Lenny Hayes and Jensen Kriza? No.
At least Lenny broke the tackle record. That is like the ultimate individual record for someone who plays in a shit team, isn't it? Like, tackling's just something you can do on your own. Goals you need your midfield to supply you. Even kicks and handballs you kind of need help. But tackling, it doesn't matter how bad your teammates are, you can tackle.
In your last game, give me a goal. Give me something. Give me something to just hang my hat on. And the poor old fucking Bulldogs and the Saints, shit house. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, at least Josh Hunt got a send off.
Yeah, hard man Josh Hunt got a great send-off.
He's pretty hard, big Hunt.
No, I don't think he is.
He's the fucking epitome of looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. He's a fucking soft little girl, like all
shut-
Geelong's players.
His first marriage pretty much mirrors his career.
Oh.
Not too far.
I can't remember quite the facts, but I remember it didn't go too well.
No, he left his wife for some other bird.
Yeah,
It's a
okay,
dog.
that's what I thought.
He met a girl on the Kokoda track or something. It's like, yep, I'm going to settle with you. This is nice.
Yeah, he did too. Anyway, yes, before we move on, after Teach gave grades out the other week, we're going to do it again, and we're going to grade all the teams who missed finals. So, Teach, how do we rate Carlton's season?
I'll give Carlton a 4 out of 10.
Well, no,
Because-
what about we
You're
gave
a
numericals
fucking
or
teacher,
letter
you're
grades? You gave
eight,
letter
yeah.
grades the other week.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's say it's an F.
Okay.
Because they had all of the regular players and they did not do anything better. They finished worse than they did. So F for Carlton.
All right. What
In
about?
Carlton's case, the F is for fucking shit.
I think we can all just about agree.
Agreed, Penal. Yes. Yes.
How do we rate the Giants' season? 6 wins, third year, beat some decent teams, beat Swans.
Yeah. Got to give. I'll probably give the Giants a D because
For development.
feed B for development.
Mm.
And they're on the way up, and so can't give them anything worse than that. But, yep, D for the Giants.
And the Dogs. Ant wants you to go hard, by the way. He wanted us to go hard at the Dogs. He's obviously very disappointed.
Yes, I'm very fucking disappointed.
Apologies in advance to Go Griff.
E for the Dogs.
E?
E, yes.
They won less games this year than last year, and they finished poorly. They lost to the Giants as well. They lost to the Suns. McCartney entered the Coach Killers Hall of Fame this year.
What does the E stand for?
So you're basically backing up my assessment.
Yes, so what does the E stand for?
E for fail.
All right, Teach. Considering you've already graded some of these other teams, how do you grade St Kilda?
Oh, F minus. What a fucking shit truck of a club.
Come on, they're an M for moral.
They are like wooden spooners, as they deserve to be.
How can you
I
give
don't
F
hate-
minus?
I
F
don't
minus
hate
is literally
Kilda.
just fail. You can't get worse than fail.
No, well that's it. Well, let's just finish on that. Fail. F.
All right.
Fail. Fuck you, St Kilda.
What about the Crows?
Stupid
They have
cunts.
Dangerfield, they have Sloan, they have Tex,
Yeah.
and yet they miss finals.
Ooh, I'll give them a C.
C for playing a field, I like it.
That's a bit generous, but yeah, okay.
Actually, I really like it. Adelaide, and I love the Tex, but he needs to get the mullet back. Yes, so C for Adelaide.
It's good for his marketability in Adelaide too, having a mullet. All right, the Eagles finished with it.
It was his first year coming back from an ACL. I mean, players do tend to struggle when they're just coming back
He
from
had a good year
ACL.
though, considering.
You're right, Penal. You're right.
Like he had some very impactful games, but yeah,
Yeah,
Eagles.
but overall he struggled because ACLs are hard to come back from, which is why excellent player Schoenmakers hasn't been in top form.
God.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dickhead.
Difference is Tex was a footballer before he got injured instead of a potato.
Doesn't wear a faggotry ponytail either.
West Coast finished with a bang and rolled the Suns. The Suns couldn't quite scrape ninth spot in the end or get close to it. So, Suns had a pretty decent year considering Ablett went down. Jack Martin was good, but the Eagles, they beat up on a weaker team again. Josh Kennedy did it with 9 goals, I think, or 8 goals.
Well, look, I think the Eagles they're on the verge. They could probably do something
On the verge of what?
next year. That they could probably break into the 8 next year. So B plus for the Eagles.
B plus.
What?
B plus.
Yeah.
And what do the Suns get?
Oh, fucking D minus.
This in development mode, and they get a. Oh, that's harsh. That's really harsh. They're tracking along nicely. Collingwood, Hawthorn smacked them. Not many surprises there. Collingwood had a lot of injuries in the end, but that sometimes happens. How was Collingwood's season?
Collingwood C minus, but it's not their fault because they've got a lot of injuries.
No F for Fig Jam?
No.
C for custard pies, I think.
And for Hawthorn,
But they're not finished. We don't grade them.
oh, okay. No worries.
Otherwise, Geelong would be a C. For
No.
concerning.
Teach, you can grade Hawthorn. Go ahead.
No, you fucking can't.
Go on. Give us a grading for Hawthorn.
Well,
Mate.
for Hawthorn for the year,
Yes.
before the finals,
Yes.
A
A.
fucking plus, yep. There you go.
Oh.
He said it.
It's kind of hoping.
I didn't say A plus, you fucking dickhead. I said A.
Geelong get a C for concerning.
Nah, Geelong get a B plus.
Anyway, not anything on Hawthorn. Collingwood. There wasn't a whole lot out of that game, was there?
No.
Hawthorn,
Just,
absolutely.
We obviously...
Absolutely smashed them. And why wouldn't you expect anything else?
A lot's been said about Geelong's concerning youth, especially Cameron Crabtree, who set a new record during the week for
Shut up, Dick White.
least impact on a game, least meters gained by a person having more than 30 possessions.
That even Tom Rockcliffe laughs at that.
Are you going to fucking care about that when we beat you next week? No, you won't.
Well, you probably won't beat them because Guthrie will be too busy handballing sideways to people.
I did just want to point out and spill some goo here that Hawthorn had a first-year player come on as the sub, 10 possessions and a goal in a quarter. That's how you impact a game. Geelong could learn a lot from that guy, Billy Hartung, whereas Geelong, when their players come on as sub, as one of their players did earlier this year, they have no possessions and no stats.
Shut up, bitch. We're going to fucking get him.
We'll come to your shit fight later, but I imagine Guthrie probably padded his stats a little bit against the Bryans, where he didn't, he probably could get away with not having such concerning numbers. But the Bryans are probably just glad the season's over. How do we rate their season, Teach? What do you give them?
Bronze.
Do you rate them better than the Paddles on the podcast the other week?
Oh, it's a bit hard to rate the Bryans because they can play really, really well and they can be really shit.
Well, you need to take that into account.
Yeah, I'll give them 6 out of 10.
Well, that's not new. That's
Have you fucking forgotten how this works again?
You got to give them a letter grade.
letter grade.
Okay, give them a letter. Yeah, D. Give them a D.
Okay. And the last game was, well, Melbourne versus North. North smacked them pretty easy in the end. Demons probably just glad the season's over. Frawley probably just glad he'll be out of there. How do we rate Melbourne's season?
Oh, jeez. How shit have they been?
Do they get an F minus too?
I don't think they're worthy of the grading, to be honest.
No, you got to grade them. Do they get an F minus as well?
I'll give them an E. E.
E minus.
They had a better season than Carlton or the Suns, based on that.
They're terrible. Their supporters are even worse.
And where do we, just in one word, where do we think Frawley's going?
Geelong.
Cattery.
Geelong.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to go to the Cats.
He's going to cover the concerning youth.
He'll be Jared Rivers Mark II, fucking shithouse player that Geelong think will be good, but turns out to be fucking just another Melbourne trash player.
And
Shut up, bitch. Rivers is a great player for Geelong.
Rivers is a fucking great... What are you on?
Oh, fuck. You're going to know about it next week, bitch.
You've been drinking some mad Kool-Aid.
all right, let's move on because we can. The shit fight can wait.
While we're in the grading mood, I'd just like to give Teacher's performance so far a fucking P for putrid. There we go.
Suck me, bitch. You're gonna fucking go down next week.
And whilst we're on the subject of Melbourne, well, Melbourne decided to be like St Kilda this year on Mad Monday.
Why is that?
Well, what have they done, Penal?
Oh, didn't one of their players rock up as Rolf Harris with their...
Oh, they did.
Jesus.
They did.
No.
Yeah, Rolf Harris and a young schoolgirl.
She had ponytails.
What the fuck are they doing?
I thought it was highly amusing, though. I would say that.
It's one of those things that's very, very funny. Just do not take pictures of it and put them on Instagram like the Melbourne players did.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. The only thing I find interesting is that these bottom clubs even bother doing these sort of dress-up Mad Monday sort of things. I think it's not a good look.
Oh, well,
what do you guys think?
Who wants to dress up as Rolf Harris with a young schoolgirl? For fuck's sake. Oh.
Bombers would do it.
Oh, I would do that. It's a fucking awesome idea. Like
for
the right crowd. If you're doing something with your friends,
I think it's funny.
It's
yeah,
funny.
It's just not something you share with everyone. I think they've got every right to dress up because, if you turn them into robots, you end up with St Kilda in the St Kilda bubble, and you know what happens there.
It was no surprise to see that a man with no brain was sort of doing his usual social justice warrior act to immediatly condemn
broken record.
You mean the Power Ranger guy?
Yeah, the Power Ranger guy. He was being a Power Ranger of Big Footy. He was correcting injustices and shit. Anything else on that?
Brian's player rocked up in blackface, dressed as...
Yeah, that's probably not so good.
That makes me think, if we had a Mad Monday dress up, what would you guys dress in?
I'd dress up as Richard Simmons as Bombers, and who wants to come as Tank Girl?
I'll probably dress up as Penal.
Why?
You don't know what I look like.
Yeah, I can see you.
You'll come dressed as Goo. Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd dress up as one of the monsters from World of Goo, but...
Anyway, Moving on to a couple of other things that happened this week.
I'd probably go as King Kong, Fyfie, if you're wondering. No?
No.
Oh, what's wrong with King Kong? It's a good
Dan
movie.
would go as a horse.
Yeah, go as a horse. Pair up with Suze, both go as a horse. Another thing that happened this week, well, it may have been missed, but Ricky Nixon had another meltdown in court.
Oh, didn't he just...
Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair.
No.
I need the car to drive to save lives. So, for those who aren't familiar with the story, Ricky Nixon done drink driving again. And in Victoria, if you get done drink driving and you want your license back before time expires, they put an alcohol interlock on your car, and you can't drive without it. So basically, if he is 0.05, the car won't start. But Ricky complained about this because apparently he needs to drive rental cars and to save lives, because Ricky's a great man. He saves lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he had a courtroom meltdown because he had a letter. It's like Essendon presenting the letter to say it was okay to take drugs. Ricky's presenting a letter to say it's okay to not abide by the law that everyone else has to because you're Ricky Nixon. And he cried. So, yeah. Anything else on that? Because that was highly amusing to read.
Did you give him stick on Twitter?
I didn't give him stick on Twitter. No, I thought better of it this time. He's not targeting us for once. So we'll let him cry in front of the judge. It's funny to sit back and watch. Don't want to get any sympathy.
He's a fucking waste of skin. Get rid of him. Fuck him off. The less we hear about him, the better.
Doesn't he? Another thing to go with driving and breaking the road rules is Daniel Talia got caught speeding because his cat was sick.
Really?
Yes, he got caught speeding, and his reason was his cat was sick and he was driving it to the vets or some shit.
That's like the dog ate my homework excuse.
It is.
I don't know what he was thinking. Did it work?
He should have taken the train.
Yeah, should have taken the train. Another thing that was hilarious was, well, Kay Hunt retired last week. He's gone back to the NR. He's gone back to rugby union, and he had a retirement press conference. Gil McLaughlin sent a video, and someone forgot to edit it because he tried to redo his take, and everyone saw it. Have we seen this video?
I haven't. No.
Anyone else seen it?
I saw it, but I was like, what's the big deal? I didn't think it was that funny. It was just, an embarrassing blooper.
It's just bizarre. That, it's literally you cut it once. You just cut it from that point. Like, who doesn't do that? It's just really bizarre because he turns the camera and goes, is that what kind of word's that? Going to other shores or something. Just, it's not the kind of mistake we would make, for example.
No, because we're a professional athlete.
Yes, exactly. Just like Eddie Maguire swearing earlier. We wouldn't do that. So
fucking oath we wouldn't.
We're fucking better than fucking Gilligan. We'd never forget to remove an outtake or something that was left recording.
We're more professional than the AFL, I think it's safe to say.
Yes, we spend more time doing this right instead of fucking playing polo and covering up dog hit and runs. So, yeah, just thought that was interesting to note.
I'll never forget that goal he kicked after the siren against Richmond. That was fantastic.
Yeah, neither will I.
For totally different reasons.
And on that note, we'll move on to, well, Richmond are looking to hire more women, which they want a 50-50 split because apparently the football clubs are very blokey and there's not enough representation, so they say.
Really?
Says a report, yes.
The AFL and football clubs are very blokey. Well, who would have thought that?
Yeah, and apparently it's the perception is the idea is that they should adapt to the culture instead of the culture adapting to anyone else who doesn't fit it.
Anyone with a brain will know that as long as you have athletes who are of one sex, it's going to be a predominantly one-sided sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Culture.
Yeah. No, that wasn't the word I was looking for, but yeah.
So you would think, yeah.
I mean, it's not like we discriminate or say women are not allowed to.
They let Jack Watts play.
Well, yeah.
Well,
exactly.
But they kicked Bootsma out. That's fucking discrimination against women.
Yeah, well,
he left to go star on Kath and Kim, man.
As a confirmed feminista.
Feminista?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I think that more women need to be involved in football. And I think that you guys are all a bunch of masochistic cunts.
What the fuck? Is he being serious? We have 37% of the staff of the club is. That's not far off 50-50, considering this is only now that they're making the push.
Oh, that's
And
good. That's good.
And that includes the football department, which of course is all going to be male.
Well, that's good. And I think that, as a result, Richmond leading the charge.
Just seems a really silly thing to announce that you'd be looking at quotas. But
Yes, quotas are sort of some artificial targets, which is just...
Shouldn't you just
bullshit.
be getting the best people possible, regardless of the sex of the person?
I guess that's the debate. They think that they may not get them because of it's not as deemed to be as inclusive. But I don't understand how the off-field culture can be, particularly in an administration standpoint, can be so exclusive.
I just have to say that as a strong, independent black woman myself, I fully support
Anything else on that? Look, I think it's a good thing, but I don't like the word quotas. I think that kind of does make it seem a little bit sus. But
it makes it seem contrived.
I think we could do something like this quietly without telling the world, and that's why I wonder why we needed to tell the world about it. But PR.
Yeah, they should have announced
publicity
after
is
the
good
fact.
publicity.
They should have said, "Well, look how many women we've hired. We are so progressive," rather than say we are going to hire women to meet these targets.
Anyway, if that's everything we got on that. Speaking of off-field stuff, North are going to increase their Tassie games load as of 2016, I believe.
Why don't you guys just move down there permanently?
Well, no, we're just
Why don't you
keeping that
shut
place
the fuck
full.
up and go down there yourself?
Yeah, no,
keep
Hawthorn
the-
are already there. Shouldn't you be saying
bitch.
get the fuck out?
Yeah.
Get off,
Ooh, jealousy. Yeah.
What have you got against
When
Tassie?
has,
We've got
when,
this
has
debate.
North ever fucking drawn 70,000 to a fucking home and away game?
I was there, 1994, prelim final.
I fucking said home and away game, you idiot.
He's
Okay,
a bit
sorry.
mad. He's a bit mad.
He is a bit mad. Yeah,
What
I'm
man?
sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
fucking, I just teachers just been dropping the ball too much today. It's been pissing me off.
I'm sorry, Penal. I didn't realise that you were talking about home and away game.
More games for North in Tassie means that less games for Suze in Melbourne.
She wouldn't go anyway, so
That's irrelevant. Like, he can bring Suze into the argument. She doesn't go to North games. She's a Hawthorn supporter to begin with. She's just a fraud.
we don't
Yes.
want.
Nah, she's always been a Hawthorn.
So you're saying she's turncoated from one Tasmanian team to the other?
We revoked the membership for racism.
No, we're
She's finally apologised. She'll be coming back.
what have you got against horses?
Fuck
No,
you,
you know what? As
You're fucking angry.
as a Melbourne-based supporter and member, this is probably selfish on my part, but I can't stand the games in Tassie. I want to see as many North games as I possibly can, and I know why they got to do it for financial reasons, but to me, it's just one less game I get to next year, and it sucks.
Yeah. I'd tell you another thing in relating to North and home games. That leaves Brad Scott with very little argument to state that North should be playing finals under the roof at Etihad because it's their home ground along with Essendon's, which he did say last week. He's already making excuses. So Brad wants a roof on finals.
Well, the best thing he can do is bring an umbrella on Saturday night because we're playing at the G, and potentially you'd have 10, 15,000 people miss out if we played at the Dome.
And you'd make more money at the MCG too, which might actually mean less games in Tassie. But Brad doesn't think about those things.
How does that work with a final? Who gets to take from
You make
50-50,
half each,
isn't it?
50-50.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whereas an Etihad take's nowhere near an MCG take.
Who
And
cares? North are going to win.
But
Fuck
Brad-
you, Essendon.
we're not at that point yet. But yeah, Brad's already making excuses just because he don't want to get wet.
Is he like the Gremlin or something? He can't get wet.
No, if the gremlins get wet, they multiplied.
Oh, you wouldn't want that then. You wouldn't want for multiple Brad Scotts.
Yeah, it's like
North are going
to become gremlins, they have to eat after
Isn't it-
midnight,
isn't it
which is
shit?
probably what Suze did. Ate after midnight and became a gremlin.
North are going to beat
There's a lot of pressure on North this week. I think a lot of neutrals will want North to beat Essendon this
I
week.
think they will, but
Oh, you think? Yeah. Fucking oath we will.
You mean people want drug cheats to lose?
I don't know why
Yes.
that is.
Well done, Penal. You've worked it out.
Let's move on to grand final entertainment was announced, and I think we mentioned this a while ago that Tom Jones was rumoured, and he's been confirmed.
Sex bomb.
And some other guy called fucking Ed Sheeran, who I'd never heard of till today, but apparently...
Who the fuck is that?
Well,
who was that?
Well, apparently, looking at his Wikipedia page, this guy's written songs for both Taylor Swift and One Direction, so he's definitely the kind of guy we want to see at the grand final.
Oh, no, we don't.
I'm stealing from Penal here. This sounds like something Romping Winds would suggest, because...
Well, I mean, Ed Sheeran is huge with the ladies, so fucking Romping Winds is clearly trying to get in someone's pants with this move.
He's a ranger.
Well, the fucking chicks probably hear him on the radio, and they're like, wow, he's singing about love and kittens and hearts and roses. I love this guy. They've probably never seen his face, but they love his music because they don't know he's a fucking ugly, batshit ugly ranger.
In other words, you're saying that he's been picked in the hope that Hawthorn make the grand final and all their GUI supporters go along. The 48% see him and swoon.
I'm saying he's like the reverse Brad Scott. You know, Brad Scott doesn't want to get wet. Ed Sheeran makes everyone wet, you know, all the 15-year-old girls and stuff in
Mr. Aaron likes that.
at their school balls and stuff like that, you know.
Fuck, I wish that was me. But anyway.
Ed Sheeran is probably a St Kilda supporter.
He looks like Ronald Weasley.
He does look like Ron Weasley. But
He
yeah,
does.
all of a sudden Tom Jones doesn't look like the worst choice ever.
What's his name? Ed Sheeran?
Yes.
You have no soul.
Fucking gingers.
Moving on from that, and well, Jumpergate has come up today. It was all over in about the space of probably 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and it went from Port being told they'd have to wear their clash jumper against Richmond because apparently Richmond's jumper doesn't properly clash anymore like it did last year.
They're not happy, are they?
Well, no, but since then, the AFL have allowed them to wear the prison bar jumper, which Eddie had to explain tonight to the Collingwood members at the Collingwood Forum.
So they're going to wear their Port Adelaide prison bar.
They're going to wear their Little League jumpers, because that's all the fucking Sandful is. It's just a shit
They're going to wear their backwater jumper, correct.
The Sandful premierships don't mean anything.
They've basically stolen a jumper from a state league club. It's like if a real club took the North King Island jumper, basically, and wore that.
I reckon the Tigers are going to win again.
We're not up to that. But yeah, the tears were magnificent earlier in the day. The goo afterwards has been pretty amusing too, but there were tears. And I think this stems from the Channel 7 requested this because so people can tell them apart because they're too stupid to fucking broadcast in HD, and some people can't tell the difference in the fuzzy standard def picture. And yeah, but Port got told to wear white, which probably shouldn't happen. But
Tigers are going to win. Go the Tigers! It's all happening for the Tigers. Go Tigers!
What about the jumpers?
No, I think the Tigers are going to win.
The Tigers are going to get to win their traditional jumpers, aren't they?
No, we'll probably have to wear the clash now so that it properly clashes with their prison bars. But
go the Tigers!
Yeah, they're going to win. Tigers.
They're going to win, Fyfie.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit about
Tigers!
the jumpers. We just care about the Tigers.
Yeah, clearly we need paddles to talk about the jumpers. And we'll move on to this week's Hall of Fame nominee, and we're bringing in a legend, straight in legend to the Bay 13 Hall of Fame.
Do we have a quota on the legends?
We're going to have 3
to
begin with, yes. And the second one, well, he basically inspired the Hall of Fame when he went and trolled Essendon by hugging a Geelong supporter after kicking a goal right in front of him. And, you know, he's also ruined Mick Malthouse's farewell tour. He's kicked a bag on Clangermakers after the siren. You know, it's Tom Hawkins. Yeah, so...
Well done.
Anything else on him?
Tom Hawk!
Do we have anything else to say about him?
He's fat. That's all that really comes to mind when I think about him.
Yeah, like that, and that's another reason he's in there because he's
a fucking legend.
Plenty of bang material from Hawkins being fat.
Go Tom Hawk!
And he gets in there because he's provided plenty of lols over the journey. And speaking of Tom Hawkins, the MCC have announced that pie sellers at this week's finals are going to have beacons. Walk around with beacons where people can actually...
Tom Hawkins is probably listening to the vlogcast right now and thinking, wow, did someone say bacon?
There will be... Alright, a number of pie boys or roving pie sellers will be equipped with eye beacons that will trigger location-specific messages via Bluetooth technology to patrons' smartphones as they move around the stadium. So basically, if you get one of these messages, you get a free pie. So...
Tomahawk is going to force Kangenmaker to wear his iPhone.
No. Pies are too important to the Tomahawk. He's going to keep the phone in his sock. And when the ball's up the other end, if he gets a little vibration in his sock, he's going to run over to the fence and grab his fucking pie. I think we can be guaranteed that, yeah, that's how it's going to go. And, of course, the final talking point, the Rising Stars this week. So were we pretty unanimous on who we thought was going to win that?
Oh, that's pretty obvious. Bontempelli, I think, has got it sewed up, yeah.
Or College Jabba.
Yeah, I reckon College Asney probably comes second. But overall, Bontempelli to rip off the head and shit down the necks of all the other nominees. Alright, let's move on to this week on the Bay. Thread of the week.
There are a couple good ones.
Yeah, there are a couple good ones.
I'd like to nominate Podgy's Adam Goods is the one thread, where basically Goods falling over compared to the Matrix, and it took off, and there was the sniper gif.
Nice.
And,
Yes,
Goods
very
pointing,
nice.
Goods pointing at diving Goods, and yeah.
It is very, very
Yes, yeah, the other thread Podgy started this week, I didn't dive, says overrated Bartel, in between bottling his own farts, was also excellent, so he's on a bit of a roll. He's become a much better poster as the year's gone on, I thought.
I think it's happened because of that, when Anus Cap broke him with the Lee Matthews thing, he had to find a new angle. So he's gone and found one, and good on him for readjusting to post 20 and 3 life. Any other thread of the week nominations?
I was going to say the bumping of the Jake Stringer Rising Star thread.
That's a nice bump.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna spill some goo, but the bumping of the Pluggers Angry Saints thread from round 1. just waiting on that all year, and then just remembering, oh, St Kilda finished bottom, time to bump Pluggers thread. That was pretty funny. But are we unanimous on Podgy's one?
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
with this one.
Yeah, he'll love that too.
Flog of the week, there were plenty of nominations.
Yeah, fucking nominated him a while ago but didn't win, but I think this week he's made a real run at it. Leg end.
Oh, notable dipshit. That guy needs to fuck off.
True's 92, who is a Jade's Elias. What a fucking dipshit he is.
Actually, that thread's an honourable mention for thread of the week. Shit players who became champions in retirement. But I thought he was alright. I want to nominate, and he's made a triumphant return with the gooeyest, most self-indulgent thread ever. He's done it tonight. Bosk. with
Oh, Bosk is back.
He's back with a...
He's back.
I would copy the text from this, but I reckon it is at least 2,500 words.
Well, it's no surprise.
So much
September is
effort
about.
and so many too long didn't reads. And you know what, Bosk? If that's how you're going to return to the Bay, stay away.
Just gotta try and paste this into Word now and see how fucking long it is.
Any other nominations whilst Penal does that?
Nah.
Bombers 2003 had another crack at it, but he went close last week. But you know,
He's still trying to pick up anus count. That's interesting.
What about
Fuck
man?
me.
how many words?
4,666.
How many words?
That is an effort post.
Say that again.
4,666.
For fuck's sake, Bosk.
Jeez.
That is...
It's,
It's only football. It's not a fucking doctoral thesis you're trying to write here. It's only football.
He wins. Come on, he wins after that.
All right.
Oh,
Give it I was also going to say.
Sorry?
Man with no name. Haim.
Oh, we've already given him a clip, as everyone should get. But
yeah.
Clip clop.
Power Ranger.
yeah. And last week's poll: how difficult is it to win a 5-man tipping competition?
It's
8.8% said.
Hey, I got the money.
8.8. Yeah, you scammed it. 8.8% said B- for difficulty. 17.6% went with the late edition, harder than winning a Sandful flag in that state where all teachers' fans are. 26.5% said about as easy as accomplishing a mission at Geelong. And the overwhelming winner, 47.1%, said Jack Watts thinks it's a huge effort because he always tips Melbourne.
Well, I got the money, so you can suck my cock.
well, the money's irrelevant. There were 5 people in the competition.
Yeah, it's not the money, it's the fucking credibility that all you did was scam people. You're just like one of them people who calls up old people and tells them that their computer's broken, and that runs those internet scams. Or you're a Nigerian prince,
Bringing
Teach.
me up today.
You're a Nigerian prince.
I'm pretty sure that earlier in the year he mentioned that most of the people in his tipping comp, so like 3 of the other 4 are like Carlton supporters, which means they know fuck all about football anyway. So like that's
Precisely. You're right.
Even-
Right, Penal.
that's another asterisk next to Teacher's tipping comp win.
He's got more asterisks next to him than fucking Essendon.
It's got,
You know what,
got more
if-
asterisks than Buddy's Coleman, which he should have been suspended for and as a result not won.
You're right, Penal. Yes, you're right.
Fucking always right.
All right, we're moving on to next week. We're there, even though Teachers tried to go there about half a dozen times already.
Tigers are going to win. The Tigers are going to win.
Go the Tigers! Go Tigers!
We're going to start with the shitfight, which is Hawthorn Geelong.
Oh, Rivers is going to have an almighty game, I predict.
You go first, Penal.
I predict that fucking all these kids that Geelong have got, like Furlow and Buse and whoever ends up playing for Geelong that's under 23 is going to have no impact on the game, and as a result, guys like Langford and Segler are going to step up for the Hawks and deliver them a pretty comfortable win. I think Hawthorn by 6 goals is roughly how this one will end up.
Teach.
Right. Georgie, Hall-Smith, Murdoch, and
Who?
all of the great Geelong youth are going to smash your fucking faces in
We're
it.
going to make up 70 centimetres.
And we're going to
exposed.
win by 15 points. Go the Cats, and Hawkins will kick 7.
7.
7, yeah. So, fuck you.
All right, time for my tip. Well, I think Hawthorn will win, though Lake's a bit iffy, so if Lake doesn't play for whatever reason, just doesn't come up right, and Clangers has to step in, well, that will be the equivalent of an 8-goal turnaround. That'll be the 8 goals Hawkins kicks extra, and Geelong will win. But otherwise, yeah, I'm
Plankers
thinking...
is a stupid bitch.
It's fucking Lake just copped a little knock on his hip. He'll be fine. He'll be 100% ready to go. He will play, and he will probably dominate Hawkins again, like he did in last year's final.
I'm thinking Hawthorn by 4 goals, goo and tears on the bay afterwards, the place to implode, and Hawkins to have 3 pies.
Hopefully fucking Geelong don't bring their own umpires again like usually happens in Geelong games.
Usually Hawthorn bring their own umpires in finals time, though. Moving on. Colas versus the Puffs up at the dung heap.
You know what? I really don't give a shit about this game, even if it is
Well,
a final.
you should,
Why is that?
because there's only 4 games this weekend.
Yeah, well, and regardless, I still don't give it. This is Fremantle, all right? I don't care about
This
Fremantle.
could be your opponent in 2 weeks' time, one of these teams.
Well, then I'll care, but for now, I don't give a shit. No, these are 2 low-scoring defensive sides. No.
There goes your fucking dog again, Dan. Jesus.
Anyway, Teach, what's your tip? Did Dan just tip? Or did...
Rio, Evo.
Yeah, I'll tip
Rio,
You
Evo.
don't need to sing the song, Teach.
It's a
It's
fucking
shit song.
shit-house
gonna win.
song.
Rather listen to Ed Sheeran.
I'd rather listen to
Rio, we're going to
Meatloaf.
win.
Bring back Meatloaf. The Fremantle will probably win.
Anything for love. Sorry.
See, Tom Hawkins is still listening along, and he's going, "What? Meatloaf? Where?" Yeah, but
We're going to
Fremantle
fucking
will
eat
win.
little fullback like he's a fucking suckling pig.
Are you injury trolling? Suckling's not playing because he's injured. Stop injury trolling.
Doesn't matter. He's going to eat whoever is on him.
And Geelong supporters always go the injury troll. I think like 5 Sydney players will do their ACLs on the terrible ANZ Stadium
You're
surface.
banned.
What?
Get out. You're banned.
Yeah.
Why?
Five players doing ACLs. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out, man.
Yeah. Fuck off, man. Get out.
Too far.
I said I think, not I want them. That's the stadium's
Yeah,
shit.
when you say things like that, you mean that's what you want. We all know you.
Yeah. Get
I'm-
fucked. Get out.
Dan and I remember this kind of shit. We're not Teach. You can't get past us with stuff from a few weeks ago that we forget. We know that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't,
bitch.
I
It's
don't
fucked.
want. I don't want any player to get injured. Let's put it that way. Except that fucking cunt Adam Goods. But it's that bad. It will happen to 5 players, not just that.
Time to go, Penal. Time to go. You've been a nasty bit of shit tonight. Get
I
out.
think the Puffs will win. I think Ballantyne and Walters give them a fair bit of
Yeah,
strap shot
fair.
forward. I think they'll kick more goals than we expect, and the big ground will suit them. The big ground does not help the Swans, even though it is boggy.
Yeah, they might go 4 in a row, 4 times 100 points in a row.
And if they do that, they'll beat them.
Yes, sounds good.
And moving on to, well, the great rivalry that isn't, the Peptides versus Lol North.
Go North. North will smash these.
North.
Everyone wants North to win, and I think they will.
Yeah, North 20 points. This
Fuck
isn't.
off Essendon, you drug-cheating shithead cunts.
Stanton to cost Essendon the game by getting run down or something, or missing a target, and Essendon supporters to boo him afterwards because that's what they're like.
Then Hadouken will finally admit that Stanton is less effective than Rockcliffe.
No one's less effective than Rockcliffe, except
Guthrie
Guthrie.
Go North. North will smash them.
Petrie to kick 4.
Yeah, Petrie to...
At least 4. At least 4. Maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
The bandwagon's back.
What, 10 in the final series or 10 in the game?
10 in the first quarter. Fucking, there's no
Go
limit
nuts.
to how gooey Teach will get about North.
He did kick 6 in a quarter once against the Bulldogs.
Until of course next week when Geelong play North and Teach crashes and just pays out on them again.
Oh, I can see it already.
So,
adding-
assuming
Battle
North,
for the top bunk.
We've
assuming
got the
North,
week off next week. We're not playing next week.
You're going out in straight sets next week.
Shut up, bitch. We are going into the prelim.
Oh, goo.
Your expense, you fucking idiot.
And
next
let's-
week's going to be interesting.
Yeah, North will win probably. I hope they fucking do because I can't stand Essendon being in the finals. They should have been kicked out this year because they're
Agreed.
just
Yes, agreed. Totally agreed.
Sorry,
Yes.
Hadouken,
Fuck
but
off,
yeah,
Essendon.
Essendon can get the fuck out. And Hadouken is a quality addition, just like Brian Taylor on Friday Night Football for anyone who was criticising this week.
He can get a bit Kool-Aidy, but he's good overall. So
And we'll move on to the final game. Well,
I think the Tigers are going to win, Fyfie.
the Tiggy Train.
Oh, yes,
it's
they
gonna
are.
roll into Adelaide. Teach, are you on board? You love the trains. Are you on board?
Yes, go the Tigers. They're going to win again. I know it, and I know which bandwagon to jump on, and it's the Tigers this week. Go Tigers!
And yeah, Travis spoke, hoping Chaplin enjoys his year, and I think Chaplin's going to enjoy his year just for another week longer because the train is going to roll on, and Port are going to get done in that backwater jumper that they love so much because it's happened twice already in the 2 games they've worn it.
Yes,
and
go
It's
Tigers!
going to happen again.
Port actually have a really bad record against Richmond, especially in Adelaide. So kids, all signs point to a Richmond win.
But
Tiggies.
But, like we said earlier in the show, all signs point to a Richmond win, and that is usually the time when Richmond fuck it up. But, like we said earlier, we think they've turned a corner. So Richmond will hold on and get it done.
Yes, they will. Go Tigers! Tigers will win. Go the Tigers!
the train is going to roll right through Adelaide, leave the town in ruins, and Amstaff, g'day Amstaff, we're looking forward to the melts.
Such a weak busy. He's gonna.
You were defending him earlier in the
Yeah.
year.
He's
if you don't-
gonna.
if you don't
go
remember.
down
He'll melt if they win, but he'll melt better if they lose.
He's such a weak little bitch that you wonder why he's not a Geelong supporter.
Oh,
He could be a young Geelong player with that attitude.
Yeah, he's probably fucking Stephen Motlop with a finger twirl.
Shut up, bitch.
Fuck Geelong's youth is concerning,
You've got
seriously.
fucking nothing, Teach. You've got nothing on me, nothing on Hawthorn.
You take out Mitch Duncan, and what the fuck else is their youth?
Friday night, you are just gonna moan your bitch ass out, and I'm just gonna be here, like just pissing on you because
Pissing?
we
Sue's in
are
the shower with someone?
Sue's in the shower.
You fucking know your team is shit. You know your team is going to lose. So this whole faux tough guy act is fooling no one. You're just a fucking useless Josh Hunt type player. You're like Josh Hunt, basically, and you're fooling no one with your tough guy act. You're going to get thumped, and I'm going to come and rub it in your face and the MCC members, you fucking dickhead.
And that is everything. So this was, the podcast for week 1 of the finals. Fyfie joined by Dan.
So yeah,
Penal.
Cats are going to get fucking smashed. I rate them a Fucking negative 10 out of 10.
And Teach.
We're going to fuck you up the arse, Penal.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. That got pretty awesome in parts. Oh shit.
It was a flat sort of start, but it sort of took a while
Yeah,
to
it
get
picked
going.
up. We didn't.
It was like a lava lamp.
I think the start was flat because we'd been fucking sitting here for 2 hours almost before we got going. But
Yes.